Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of economics. Today we will be going to continue the methods of primary data collection. The fifth method of primary data collection is questionnaire. Questionnaire through enumerators. In this method of collecting data, student, the enumerator means who want to do the investigation, go to informants along with the questionnaires and help them in recording their answers. Okay. This method of collecting primary data is very useful in extensive inquiries and dependable result can be expected. Nowadays in online purchase also you can see they are asking the rating. They are asking many questions related to the product so that they can come to know whether the customer is satisfied with the particular goods or not, that they can come to know. Okay. So that are the various questionnaire method by which we can come to know a person's interior knowledge, and for that also I will say it can be applied only when both the parties are learned person. This method of collecting primary data is very useful in extensive inquiries and dependable result can be expected. The selection of enumerators should be carefully done. Enumerators should have intelligence and capacity of cross-examination for the purpose of finding out the truth. They should be hard worker also. The enumerator also given training to fill the schedules. Suitability. This method is used where the field of investigation is wide. The investigation needs specialized and skilled investigators. The investigators are well versed in the local language and cultural norms of informants. This place the particular method can be applicable. Where wide is there, we will give a questionnaire and they will fill and we will get the judgment whether how many are agreed and how many are disagreed, the reason of agreed and the non. So that can be done. So that is the method questionnaire. Merits and advantages. The merit of this method are given below. This method is very economical, as once it is made, it will be from many people we can get the information. Money is saved as we don't have to go. Question went and the answers came to us. This method saves the time. This method is capable of a wide coverage in the terms of area involved. There is a quality of originality of the data, definitely, because it is written by the particular informant themselves about the judgment, what they are liking and what they don't like by the way of questionnaires. Merits, demerits and limitations, if we will say, this method suffer the following demerits, student. If the enumerators are not educated, the information received will be misleading. It can be misunderstood by the peoples. Competent enumerators may not be available, because of that accuracy of the information suffers. If the enumerators are biased, confused, then the data will not be accurate also. So these were the questionnaire method, student. I hope you have understood. Questionnaire method is not so difficult method. It is that method in which we are preparing a questionnaire, list of questions, and the answers are to be filled by the informants. This method are time saving, because here the people will be group of people can fill the form at the same time and can submit it. We have to make the judgment. So there are the questionnaire method. Drafting the questionnaire. Now the main thing is how to draft the questionnaire. In the context of collection of primary data, questionnaires and schedules are used. The set of questions in questionnaires and schedules are similar. The use of questionnaire is suitable where the informants are educated, literate, whereas schedule can be used both for literate and illiterate people. Essentials of a good questionnaire, student. A good questionnaire should possess the following characteristics. Questions less in numbers. The number of questions should not be kept to be the minimum. The precise number of questions to be included would naturally depend on the objective and scope of the investigation. Once the objectives are clearly defined, questions pertinent to the objectives should be asked. Questions small and clear. The question should be short, simple, and easy to understand. As you will be writing, the question will be small, people will get interested to read the question, they will complete the question, and they will try to give the exact answer. They should convey one and only one sense. Double sense question must not be asked unless the person being integrated is technically trained. Technical terms should be avoided. Okay, so these are the various things which we have to keep base in the question paper. Question related to the investigation. The question we must try, mostly the question must be related to the investigation for which we are making the survey. Question should be directly related to the investigation. It must not have such type of question which is not related to the topic. Proper sequence. Definitely a sequence must be made. Like whenever you are getting any form to be filled, first your name comes, then the roll number, then the class, section, then the subject. So here it is a systematic order. Never a teacher asks first the roll number, then the section, then the class. A sequence must be there so that we can arrange it. So to ensure natural and spontaneous reply, it is very important to arrange questions in a proper sequence or in a logical order. For example, it is not logical to ask a person regarding his income bracket before inquiring about whether he is employed or not. I think the sense is clear. We must first know the person is having a job or not. After knowing it, the person is working, then we can ask what is his salary, from how many years they are working. Directly our question must not arise that from how many years you are doing the job, what is your salary, that must not arise. Wherefore the question must be like that, what type of job you are doing, where it is, and then we can ask the question related to the other things. So it must have systematic order. Proper place. While preparing questionnaire, it should be kept in mind that the question should be properly placed so that while answering, no difficulty is faced by the person. So it must have some proper place. Like for example, you know in the photo area, sticking, one area is there, which signature it is there, it is mentioned there. So proper placing must be done of everything. Prohibited questions. The question which is restricted, which cannot be asked, it must be not asked in the questionnaire. The question of personal nature should be avoided. Similarly, the questions related to social and religious feelings of informant should be avoided. Instructions. The questionnaire should provide necessary instructions to the informant so that they can fill up the questionnaire correctly and neatly. So that instruction must be given with the questionnaire. Pilot survey. Before sending the questionnaire to the informant, it should be tested before among the peoples, so that it will be known that the questionnaire is prepared correctly, no correction is there in the questionnaire, such a type of thing, and that itself is known as pilot survey. As a result of which, shortcomings, if any, can be removed. Such pre-testing is technically named as pilot survey. Cross verification. Definitely student, after making a pilot survey, we can make a cross verification whether all the questions are related to the topic only, whether the answers will be coming correctly or not related to the questions, what questions and what answer can become for a particular question. It is not complicated for the people to understand and give something else the answer. That all points we will be understanding and that will be coming. That is known as cross verification. Multiple choice question. Multiple choice question, students, here question should be capable of objective answer, because people like to give this type of answer where the objectives are also given related to the question. They just have to make the tick of the right answer which is the correct, which is related to the question. So that must be more given there if it can be. Questions on familiar topics. Questions, all the question which is on the page must be related to the topic. Questions which require strain should be avoided, means stress. It must be easy, it must not pressurize the person to give answer. Too much reliance on memories of distant past may elicit wrong answers. Information should be able to answer from their own memory and knowledge. Covering letter. The person conducting the survey must introduce himself and make the aims and objectives of the inquiry clear to the informants. A personal letter can be enclosed indicating the purpose and aims of inquiry. The informant should be taken into confidence. He should be assured that his answers will be kept in confidential and he will not be solicited after he fills up the questionnaire. A self-address as stamped envelope should be enclosed for the convenience of informant to return the questionnaire. Request for return. Definitely student, the questionnaire must be written back to the person, because if the questionnaire will remain with the informant, then how we will be getting the answers what we are asking to the informant. Request should be made to the respondent to return the questionnaire completed in all respect at right time. A specimen of questionnaire is given below. You can see a Superbazar is providing a questionnaire to its consumer so that the Superbazar can come to know how much the people are satisfied by the service which is provided by the Superbazar. The questionnaire, you can see consumer awareness program is there. Name, address, age, occupation, sex. then the number of members in the family, monthly income, how much, marital status, how many times do you go to Super Bazaar in a month. Marital status, why it is asked? Because the people usually, if the kids are there, family is there, they will more like to go to the Super Bazaar. So it will be asked how many married couples are there, married people are there who want to go to the Super Bazaar, how many unmarried people are there who also like to go to the Super Bazaar. Do you purchase commodities of your daily use? This is just a pro forma, you can see there, and you can go through how the questionnaire can be formed and framed. Now comes the student collection of secondary data. The second data, the data which is not collected directly by the investigator, but it is from other sources, from another institution or the agency, from where we are getting the information for our survey, for our research. It is known as secondary data. The data which are used in an investigation but which have been gathered originally by someone else for some other purpose are known as secondary data. The main source of secondary data are published and unpublished. Published sources, when we talk, government publications are there. Different departmentals of central government and state government collect and publish data at different times, and we people also takes the data. Like for example, gold rate is there, stock prices are there. These are published, and for our survey and our research, we can use that data. Government publications are as follows: Reserve Bank of India Bulletin monthly, Statistical Abstract of India annual, Estimates of National Income annual, Census reports, Indian Trade Journal weekly. International publications, there are a number of international organizations which publish data at different times. Some international publications are as follows. First is International Labour Organization, ILO, then World Health Organization, WHO. Like corona time, we are pandemic situation, we are getting the health related every issues from the WHO. They are circulating and making the people aware. They are making the people calm in this particular situation, and they are helping the people to survive in this situation. So many things are there, students, which the data we are getting from these institutions, which are very big and helping the whole world. United Nations organizations, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, reports of commissions and committees, reports of commissions and committees provide complete and reliable data. These reports are report of Finance Commission, reports of Baba Committee, reports of Hazari Committee, reports of Tariff Commission, report of Dutt Committee, reports of Gorwala Committee, etc. Publications of research institutes. Different research institutes publish results of research work at different times. These institutes are University Research Bureaus, Central Statistical Bureaus, Statistical Research Bureau, Institute of Economic Growth, National Council of Applied Economic Research. Besides that, you can get some of the data from magazines also. A number of magazines, you are familiar with this. When you have to make a particular article competition, you have article writing and drawing competition, you make a survey from the magazines so that you can get important information from there for your investigation. A number of magazines collect and publish data relating to different subjects. These magazines are commerce, economic journals, Financial Times, Capital Economic Times, from where we can get the data. Next is reports of trade associations. From there also we can get the data, students. Report of after magazines. The next is report of trade association. There are various trade association based business unit who are helping the other business unit to survive in this particular competitive world. In a large number of trade association publish data on different topics. These associations are trade unions, trade associations, produce and stock exchanges, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. These also provide information which is needed for the business purpose. Publications of personal investigation. The person who do research work first collect and then publish the data. That is the all are the secondary data source, means from where we can get the data for our investigation. Directly we are not going, we are taking the data which other people had made the investigation. Unpublished sources. All the information are not published, students. Some data which are not published are available in office files and records. Such data may be used if necessary. So that resources are known as unpublished sources. Some of the time, like for example, we had made an investigation but now it is not useful. But later part we can use it. Later part it can be worked out. So that is known as unpublished sources. Okay. Limitations and of secondary data. There are many limitations of secondary data, student. It may not be have been collected by proper procedure. It can be like that. It may not be proper procedure, means the steps of collection is not there, means we want in some way, and the data we are getting, it is arranged in some another form. It is not in that sequence we want. It may not be suitable for the required purpose. The information which was collected on a particular base may not be suitable and relevant to an inquiry. It may have been influenced by the confusion of the investigation or personal prejudice, means the person who had collected the primary data, they themselves are not clear about the data. That data, if we are using, it can be clear, it can be doubtful for our investigation also. The information may be outdated, may be not used, like for example stock index prices. When it was collected, it was different. Currently we are using, it is different showing, and not suitable for the present context. It may not satisfy a reasonable standard of accuracy and required needs which is needed for our investigation. Editing of data, when we talk, student, after this limitation of secondary data, editing of data must be known to the people, because whenever data they are collecting, they must also know how to edit the data. Okay, editing of data, after the data have been collected, the next step in the statistical investigation is to edit the data. The main object of editing of data is to detect possible errors and irregularities. The task of editing is a highly specialized one and requires great care and attention. That is known as editing of data. Editing of primary data, how it can be done. After collection of data, the next step in the statistical inquiry is the scrutiny of the collected figures. While editing primary data, the following points should be taken into consideration according to Bailey and Cummins. Editing for consistency, editing for uniformity, means the data must be same type. For that, how you will make editing. Consistency means it must stand for the point of view. Editing for completeness, the data, how it can be, if it is showing half statement, it is not clear, how you can make edit the data so as to make it complete in sense. Editing for accuracy, if you are not getting the data to be accurate, then how you will be editing to make it accurate. Okay, so that are the way how editing of primary data is needed. That I will be explaining in my next class, student, step by step. For today's class, this much only. Thank you and have a nice day.